Hey everybody, this is the Tech Neck, and today I want to talk to y'all about something that is very dear to my heart, and that's gaming. Yes, I'm a nerd and I'm proud to say that. And I love gaming. Now, I have really enjoyed a particular game since it has been in beta. That game is now on release 1.6.2. Some of you may have figured it out already. I love Minecraft. I'm addicted to it. Now, those of you who have played Minecraft, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you just getting into it or haven't tried it, oh, you'll figure it out. Well, one of the things I've wanted to do is set up my own Minecraft server. And I've finally broken down and done it. I'm going to set it up on a Linux machine I have sitting around here. Now, people have said that Linux is the harder OS to set up a Minecraft server on. And I disagree. I think it's pretty straightforward. There's just a few more steps and a few caveats to it. So let's jump on in this and I'll show y'all how to do it. So let me open up a shell to my Linux server. Let me throw it over here on my screen and I'll log in real quick. And put in my password. Hopefully I don't mistype this as I tend to do when I'm typing fast. Alright, here we are. Now the first step to setting this up is to make sure we have the most recent Java development kit, or JDK. They say you need to use the Oracle version. Well, the Oracle version is proprietary, and to do that you have to jump through a bunch of hoops. On the side note, there is an open JDK, and it works just fine. Now I'm just going to type in Java and throw the versions flag at it. And we see that I have the Open JDK version 1.6 build 27. Now, I'm going to show you how to install this just straightforward. And while I'm doing this, I might actually pick up an update. I'm not sure. So I'm going to type in sudo, or sudo. And that basically is super user do. And it allows us to have root install things for us. You can only do this as an administrator. So I'm going to type sudo apt-get because I'm using Ubuntu, and install default JDK. Type in my password again, and there it goes. Now it says I don't have any to upgrade or newly install and none to remove, so I have the most recent version. Now if y'all had done this and you didn't have a JDK already installed, you would have gotten a response that said you need to install this number of files and they come out to this much memory. Do you want to continue? Just type Y, hit enter, go straight through, downloads, installs, you're done. Now the next step we want to do is we want to make a separate user for Minecraft. And the reason we want to do this is that if there were in fact an exploit inside Minecraft that hadn't been caught, we don't want to inadvertently give somebody access to a user like this, an administrator user, because they have the ability to use that sudo command. And that would basically give somebody complete control of your computer. So we're going to make a user that has basically no privilege besides reading their own files. And to do this, we're going to type sudo again. And I'm going to use add user. You can also use user add, but I like add user because it's pretty well automated. So add user, and we're just going to call him Minecraft. Something pretty simple and easy to remember. Alright, so it's created the user directory and we need to give him a password. Give him a nice strong password. I'm not telling you what I'm using. That's my little secret. And verify that password. Alright, you don't have to give it this information, but I usually give it a name at least, and I'm just going to call him Mr. Minecraft Server. Don't need any of this, and it's completely optional. You don't have to put it in. Now, is the information correct? Yes, it is. Alright, so it's done making this stuff, and to verify we'll just ls, which is the list command, our home directory, so /home. And we see we have a Minecraft folder in there. That's the Minecraft user's home folder. So, now we need to make sure this user has SSH access. Now one of my little things that I do is, unless a user needs SSH access, I do not give it to them. So right now on this machine, my admin profile is the only one that has SSH access. So I'm going to go in and change that. I'm going to sudo again, and I'm going to use Nano. I like Nano. It's pretty simple, and when you're just doing tech stuff, it works just fine. And /etc/ssh/sshd _config. Now we have our SSH configuration file. I'm going to run down here to the bottom where I have my little rules. I have permit root login. No. I highly suggest this on every server. Nobody needs to log in as root. Admins have the ability to use the sudo command, and if you need to do a bunch of stuff, you can use the sudo su, which changes you to the super user. So just go ahead and put no there. I suggest that on everything. Now allow users. Right now I have just my admin account, TechNeck, and I'm going to add the Minecraft user. So I'm just going to type his name in right here, and just need a space there. I'll hit Control X. It wants to save, yes. The default file name is perfect, so I'll just hit enter, and I'm done. Now I can just log out, and we'll open up another shell terminal. Throw that one over here, and we'll log in as the Minecraft user. So Minecraft, and his password, still not telling you. My little secret. Alright, so now we're logged into the Minecraft user. Now we need to download the server software, which is really just an executable file written in Java. So what I did is I just went on the website. Stretch this out a little bit for y'all if I can grab that corner. Alright, so I just went on the website. This is the minecraft.net/download page. And you'll see right here it says multiplayer server. We don't want this exe file. That's for Windows. What we want is this jar file. Now that's a Java library that is completely executable. That's why we had to install the JDK. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover my mouse over this and take note of the link at the bottom of the screen. So now that I have that, and I did this a second ago, so I can kind of pull this aside, pull my trusty notepad out, and I've got that link. And I've got it sitting right under the terminal window, so I can just copy it in. Now we're going to do wget, and then that server address, so https://s3.amazonaws.com/Minecraft with a capital M .download with a capital D /versions, that's plural with an S, /1.6.2, which is the most recent version, /Minecraft _server .1.6.2.jar. Now if I got that all typed in correctly, it should start downloading. Yep, there it goes. And it downloads pretty quick. It's not a very big file. It's not a very big file at all. Alright, so now that it's downloaded, we'll list our home directory and we should see it in there. Yep, there it is. And before I want to crank this up as a full-fledged running server, I just want to fire it once so it creates some of the configuration files that I need in order to fully set this up. So I'm not going to put any of the heap flags in, so I'm just going to type Java and the jar flag to let it know that we're using a jar file, and the file name, so Minecraft _server .1.6.2.jar. And we need to make sure to say no GUI, because this is a headless unit and there's no point wasting resources on trying to start a GUI. And there we go. Alright, so it's starting up. It gives us a few little flags saying we can you know, increase memory and all that stuff. But right now it is creating our spawn area. And while it's doing that, it's also creating 3 files that we need to adjust. Alright, so there it is. It's all loaded up. And I'm just going to hit Control-C to kill the process. And it's going to freak out a little bit and eventually give us our prompt back. And should be coming back here a second. There it is. Alright, let's clear this so we don't have all that garbage on our screen. And we're going to list our home directory again, and you're going to see a bunch of files that weren't there. There they are. And the ones we want to focus on are the ops.txt file, the server properties file, and the whitelist.txt file. And just to note, that bluish purple one that says world, we don't need that because we're going to change that. So we're going to say rm and use the recursive flag, which is -r, world. And when we list this again, it won't be there. See? All gone. Alright, so first let's start with the ops.txt file. So, nano ops.txt, and there's nothing in it. Now this file sets up our administrators. So we're going to put our Minecraft username, and that's it. And we'll hit Control X, yes, Y to save it, enter to write the file. Alright, so that one's changed. Now let's go ahead and do the whitelist file. So we'll nano whitelist.txt, and once again there's nothing in it. Now the whitelist is your approved users on the server. And I like that. I like playing with people I know, so I have to add you. You can't just jump in randomly. So I'm going to put my name in, and normally I would go ahead and put all my friends' names in, but for the sake of their privacy, on the internet, I'm not going to do that. Alright, so there's my name. I'm going to hit Control X to save, yes, and the enter to accept the file name. Alright, last but not I am exhausted, guys. I am sorry for this. I am stepping all over myself. Last but not least, let's do the server properties file. So nano again, and server.properties. And here we go. Here's our server properties. So the things we want to focus on are the level name. We can give it anything we want. So I'm feeling particularly nerdy today, so I'm going to give it a really goofy name like Technekia. Yep, I'm a dork. Sue me. Enable query, no. Flight, no. Now the port number is only important if you plan on running multiple instances on the same machine. So if you want to have multiple servers running on one box, you can do that. In your home folder, you would set up different folders and put a copy of that jar file in each of them and run them just like I did before. Then when you do all of this setup on each of those separate folders, you would just change the port number in each one so that they would all operate on different ports. Then when you log in, you would just use the IP address colon the port number for that instance, and it would log into the game set up on that one port. And that's how you could run multiple Minecraft servers on one machine. Alright, so we're not going to mess with that because I'm only going to do one instance on this. The level type is default. You can also use flat or large biome. We don't need the Archon. Level seed. I like using level seed, and just as one of my weird little things, I usually put the level seed as the same thing that I put the level name as. Now you can do whatever you want. This is personal preference. You don't even have to use it and it'll just generate random levels. Alright, so force game mode. I want to leave that as false. That way our ops people can change things if they need to. Server IP, I suggest leaving that blank. That way it'll just use the IP address of whatever the host machine is. All of this stuff right here you don't need, but whitelist right here, we want to turn to true. That way our list of approved people is applied to our server. Snooper, I usually turn Snooper off just because I really don't feel like wasting resources on their Snooper programs. So once again, personal preference. Hardcore false, just my personal preference. I leave texture pack blank so that everybody can choose their own. And online mode. I leave this as true. Online mode verifies your Minecraft username against the Minecraft servers to make sure you have a valid account. When somebody has made a good product, in fact, I'm going to call this a great product. So when somebody's made such a product such as Minecraft, I think they should get paid for it because they put a lot of work into it and they made a good product. So I leave that as true. PvP, once again, personal choice. I like PvP as true. And difficulty. Difficulty is 0 for peaceful, 1 for easy, 2 for normal, and 3 for hard. You can, once again, do whatever you want. I usually set mine on hard. Game mode, again, is 0 for survival, 1 for creative, and 2 for adventure. I like survival, so I usually leave that on 0. Max players, I'm going to dial that back just so, you know, I really don't usually play with more than about 10 people, so I'm just going to put it as 10. You can put it as whatever you want. It goes up to a pretty high number too. Just keep in mind that I think it's for every 6 or 7 people on the server, you'll need about a gig of system memory. So just keep that in mind when you're setting that. Spawn monsters, yeah, I don't want to mess with that or that. And, you know, MOTD, message of the day. Once again, am in a particularly dorky mood, so I'm going to put something funny like, nerds being nerds. Just how I feel right now. Alright, now there is one last thing that I usually put in my setup file, and that is the OP permission level. Now once again, your OPs are your administrators. So we want to tell the server what kind of permission they have. And I like setting mine on 4. And that gives them permission for everything. Gives them permission to change game modes, to ban or block people, kick people, even stop the game. So go ahead and put that on 4, and I am pretty much done. So I'm going to hit Control X again, say yes to save, and enter to accept the file name. And that's it. We're done. We can now run this thing and have a running server. Now one little trick that I like is to use the screen command. So we're going to type screen and the session flag, which is -s, and give it a name. I'm just going to call it Minecraft. And we'll hit enter. Now it doesn't look like it did anything, but trust me, it did. Trust me. Now once again, we're going to do our command to start the file. So we're going to type Java. And I'm going to skip putting in the heap flags because I don't want to screw anybody else up by putting the heap flags for my computer in. This is a setting that is individual to each computer. So if you have 2 gigs of RAM in your computer, you know, dial it back a little bit for your background processes and maybe give it a gig to a gig and a half. Now keep in mind this is written in megs, so a gig would be 1024 capital M, and you would put that in as -x, oops, that's not an X, XMX 1024 capital M. And the other heap flag, I usually set them the same. I don't really see any point in doing one different from the other. XMS 1024M. Now keep in mind, this is what they say is the minimum to run this. I happen to know just from trial and error, it'll run it lower than this if you've only got a couple of people playing. But that would be the heap flags for, I guess, most people's computers. So it would just be XMX 1024M, XMS 1024M. I'm not going to put that in just because I don't feel like it right now, and I'm going to shut this down and restart because I got to reconfigure it anyway. So we're just going to say Java. Once again, make sure to pass the jar flag and the file name. Minecraft _server dot 1.6.2 dot jar. And as always, make sure to pass that no GUI command at the end. And we hit enter. Oops, I spelled it wrong. I told you I was going to make mistakes because I'm tired. There needs to be an E right there. Once again, I'm human. Sue me. Alright, so we'll hit enter, and there it goes. So we're going to let it prepare the spawn area so you can see it all load up. And then I'm going to show you why I passed that screen command. And it's actually a really neat little feature that if your server doesn't have it on it, you can do the apt-get install screen, or if you're using, once again, I'm using Ubuntu. If you're using Fedora, I believe it's yum, so you can do yum install screen, and you would have this available. Now the reason I did this is I'm going to hit Control-A-D, and I'm back to where I was before. Looks like nothing ever happened, except you'll notice this detached from 2164.minecraft. That is our session that we were just in. Our program is still running in the background, and we can do things on the command line for this user. And I'm gonna prove this to you. I'm gonna type in htop. I like using htop. It's a lot cleaner than regular top. So I'm gonna type in htop, and we'll see. Well, if it'll. Okay, there we go. It finally updated. Now if we look at those top 3 for now lines, and you go all the way over to the right, you'll see that it's running our Minecraft file. So the server is in fact running, even though we're on a completely different command line. So I'm just going to hit F10 to get out of this. And if you ever have to go in and change anything, or shut this down and restart it, or shut it down and change the configuration file, to do that you would just type, well, I'll show you 2 different ways. I'll show you the one, which is screen, and the list flag, ls, or you can type out list, and it shows you our sessions running. Now you can just type, screen, and the reconnect flag, which is -r, and you can either type in the whole 2164.minecraft, or you can just type in Minecraft. See? Right back to where we were. And we can shut it down and redo it. So let's back out of this one more time with Control-A-D. Alright, so we're back to here, and we just want to log out. Our server is now running Minecraft, and we are done. Pretty simple. Didn't take us very long at all. And that's pretty much it. So thanks guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. I'll try and put stuff out as much as I can. I do have another job, so there is breaks between videos. And if you have any comments, questions, anything like that, drop them in the comment box. If you have any criticisms, please try and keep it constructive. Just, you can bash me if you like. I'm pretty thick-skinned. But if you have constructive criticism, I'd love to hear it. Things to change, things like that. And y'all have a great day. Once again, this is the TechNeck, and I will see y'all later.